Abia, as you're aware that empowerment of persons with disabilities is a key pillar of DFID's disability inclusion strategy. And I think that's why it's extremely important that we engage directly with DPOs because they represent voices and aspirations of persons with disabilities. And I think what is really important about DPOs is that their leadership and professional staff, they include people who have personally experienced disabilities. And I really feel proud that we have this partnership with STEP. And it's a good example of continuous engagement with DPOs. And as you know, that the starting point was Global Disability Summit. Because Pakistan was one of the priority countries, so we set a really high level of ambition for ourselves. And we wanted to do a national consultation with bottom-up consultation with persons with disabilities and leading up to a satellite event. But the issue was that we were pressed against time and resources. And that is why it was a difficult task. I think we were lucky that we approached you. We contacted STEP, being a national DPO, to help us on that. And I think the outcome was really great, that we had excellent events. We had representation from different provinces and regions. So that I think really kind of speaks about your STEP's own expertise in this area. But I think the great thing really is that our partnership did not end there. We had a number of follow-up conversations about how to implement the recommendations from the national consultation here, but also from the Charter of Change and how that would apply to Pakistan. And then when DFID Pakistan organized this national seminar on Washington Group questions, that is also where STEP came in and they supported that event with advice, with offering their own kind of network of DPOs. And then we also have a couple of proposals which are under discussion. So it's really great that this collaboration continues. It wasn't a one-off event. And that is why I wanted to talk about this partnership, what has really went well, what the challenges were, and if we can offer any advice to our colleagues in other country offices, how they can engage with DPOs.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, because this is really important partnership with the DFID and Pakistan. It's a special talent exchange program. We have been working, as you know, since 1997, and it's a cross disability organization. We have like a network of disabled people organization all over the country. We have built their capacities, and it was a long journey of almost 2 decades.
I think you're absolutely right, especially about kind of strength of this partnership and the value added that STEP contributed to what DFID has been doing in this field. Now, when we started work, I mean, our own interaction with disability landscape was limited. Our own knowledge was very limited. So you're absolutely right that your knowledge of the sector, policy issues, legislation, what are the entry points for influencing government, but also your own advocacy network, because you work very closely with the government. And that is why when we talked about what we can do in terms of preparation for Global Disability Summit, the Planning Commission came forward and we have this partnership with the government. They were very actively involved. And similarly about site savers, because they also became interested in that. That was you had a kind of contact with the site savers, which I think was...
Yes, no, I completely agree with you. That was a learning phase for us, because all the disabled people organization, they don't have that much of experience, the documentation and how to prepare the financial reports or the narrative reports, that kind of component, the dues and the diligence, that was the component which we really learned from this partnership. And for talking about the other disabled people organizations, they also need this capacity building, but at the same time providing them the platform which DFID have provided. Like on the global level, we went there and we talk about the experiences of a developing country, which was a priority for the global summit, but at the same time, from our country's perspective, that is really important.
It's important for DFID to think about the program cycle. That is where probably we don't have, there's a lot of scope for doing more, thinking about how we engage with DPOs.
And also providing the networking services all over the country, like in GB, in AJK, how we have the focal persons there. So engage directly with them, with the country offices or the programs.
So thank you very much, Abia, for this discussion. This has been very useful in terms of reflecting on what went well and what the challenges were, and how we can support our colleagues in other country offices to have regular contact with DPOs.